So, if you know me at all, the thing that I like to do when I'm not doing anything is have conversations. And the thing about having conversations is you typically need at least two people to have a conversation. And I didn't have that for a little while. And so I didn't have any conversations, which means I really couldn't record a podcast. But today, I am Flavor Ray in seat A, and this is Tattooed with Children. Across from me in seat B, fresh from a triumphant journey to Georgia at the Wildwood Music Festival, is the Dread Pirate Benjamin in seat B. And you're all happy to know that across from us is the legendary, incomparable CIO No Pain.
Yeah,
back from Florida.
That's the best name ever. CIO No Pain.
I love how I came up with that name.
That's perfect.
It's already my favorite part of the podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, how the fuck are we doing? I feel good. You feel good?
I feel pretty fantastic. I think it's been a good week. I think it's been a good weekend. I think it's been a good couple of days. Shit's been hard, but sometimes shit being hard is what you need.
You know, a good hard shit can clear out the passageways of the time and effort. Now, we've got the two of you here. All right, so Ben's been to Georgia. He took us the whole Black Star crew to Georgia Wildwood, and so we need to hear about that. We got Mike, who just came from a journey into the land of fantasy and dreams in Florida. Some of y'all know it as Disneyland or
Disney World.
Disney World.
How was that, Mike?
That was the actual core of the trip was fantastic.
Yeah.
Everything went wrong, and it was still great. So that's the best you can. That's
Okay.
the best you can do.
That is the most Griswold answer you can come up with. The core of the trip was fine.
Right.
I got to fuck the moose in the ass, so
Right.
I feel good about that.
I feel like that was a very Chevy Chase answer he just gave.
It really was.
If there is anybody I could be like, Chevy Chase would be it.
Right.
I really want the rest of that story, so we're going to get to that. But let's start with Wildwood, man. Tell people who don't know what Wildwood is.
So Wildwood Revival is a festival that happens every year just south of Athens, Georgia. Athens, if you don't know, is an hour and a half east of Atlanta. Mostly where the rich, well-to-do folks are.
Yeah.
The plantation homes are out there. Also, the University of Georgia is in Athens.
All right, yeah.
So go Bulldogs or whatever the fuck they do. It's a nice town. I actually like Athens quite a bit. It's got a lot of coffee shops. It's got several tattoo shops. It's got a lot of craft brew places and tiny little food joints that you can dodge into. And there's you'll go in. You'll hear about this world famous chef in Athens, and so you'll go try to find this place.
And it's a shack.
Yeah, you literally walk between two buildings and step over the homeless guy.
Right.
And you go in and there's 6 tables and you're like, well, this can't be it.
How did he become world famous on 6 tables?
And then the guy comes out and he's like, just sit wherever, I'll be right back. And then disappears again. And you're just like, all right, I guess this is it.
You don't get a menu at all.
No.
He just puts a plate in front of you and says, "Eat this."
Right. And then the generally there'll be a more attractive version of him that'll come out that's female that'll be like, hey, this is what we're making today, what do you want? Okay, bye.
Yeah.
So
that's not to say that Georgia is rude. I'm not a big fan of Atlanta, but the rest of Georgia is really, really nice.
Yeah.
I recommend people go to Georgia as a state.
Yeah.
It's a great place, actually.
So the music festival that takes place, I think is in its 6th or 7th year. It's grown exponentially. I mean, I think there were 50 or 60 people at the first one, and it's grown slowly but surely. They have 3 days of music. So it starts with a kickoff party Thursday night. Wildwood Revival. You can follow it on Instagram at Wildwood Revival. It starts with a kickoff party on Thursday night. Zach Smith usually plays that every single year, and it's worth it every single year. His better half, Jackie, sings with him, which kind of saves the day.
Right.
Interestingly enough, Zach or Schmitty will be in Texas. Hang on real quick and let me check out when he's going to be in Texas, because I think it's this weekend. And I would highly recommend, if any of you have time, he's going to be in Houston, Dallas, Austin, and I want to say Waco, but let me check and make
Look
sure I'm
and
right.
see if you can tell me how long he's going to be in the Houston area, because if we can get him up just
He's
between here and
not.
Dallas. No?
So, what is today? Is today the second?
Today is the
Today's the
second.
second.
Yeah.
Okay, so tomorrow he's at All Good Cafe in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
That would mean Friday he's at the Tributary Cafe in Fort Worth.
Okay.
Saturday he's at the Americana in Houston, and Sunday he's at the Parlor in Austin, which
Okay.
is a really odd pizza joint, way up on Guadalupe,
Yeah.
with nothing else around.
It's all by itself. I
So
was just there not too long
So
ago.
he's going to be there with Roger Harvey and Simon Flory. So anyway, if you want to go follow Uncle Schmitty, SCHMIDTY. Zach is one of the best, hardest working humans I've ever met. He's just one of those pure all-Americans in cowboy boots. He wears the same damn thing every day. I don't think he owns anything but blue jeans and white V-necks. Like that's all he owns.
And I love that in a musician.
Yeah.
That lack of pretentiousness, because
Right.
it's real easy to be an asshole when you're really good playing music.
Right.
And I don't run into that a lot of times.
Yeah.
Being from Georgia.
Zach's from up east. I don't know
Okay.
where exactly, but they live up east somewhere. But anyhow, so he kicks it off Thursday night. The first show is generally Friday afternoon, like just after lunch,
Mm-hmm.
and music goes until 10:30
Okay.
at night. There's camping, there's RV spots, there's hotels within 15 minutes, Airbnbs within 5 minutes.
Right.
VIP tickets are $450 a piece.
Okay.
A day pass is $100.
Now, where do you guys stay when you go there?
So we stay. I mean, we stay at an Airbnb, but we tattoo in the main house.
Okay.
So there's an old plantation home that the VIPs are allowed in because there's air conditioning.
Right.
And weirdly enough, every other year it's been cooler in Georgia than it is here. This year, not so.
Okay.
This year it was actually about 6 degrees hotter, and the humidity was absolutely the worst. And they had a burn ban everywhere. So like literally, you get out of your car and the dust blows up.
Right.
So they hadn't had any rain in a while. But so we tattoo in the big house Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We generally do as many VIPs as we can possibly bring up. So like this year there were 300 VIPs. I think we tattooed somewhere around 50 of them.
Okay.
And we can't get to everybody. We can't do custom pieces.
Right.
We're in a festival setting.
Right.
So we're trying to stick with
So
little
they're fast,
bitty.
they're small.
Yeah, they're fast and small. So man, it was fantastic. Honestly, there have been some. I saw Dave Rawlings and Gillian Welch there. 4 years ago, I saw them.
Guys, the cutest thing in the world just happened.
Yeah.
Ben's daughter Megan just came in through the back door and then high-stepped across the room trying
Yeah.
to be quiet
Like
to get to the other door.
Like Deion Sanders.
It was the cutest thing I've ever seen in my entire life. I love you, Megan.
Okay, so anyhow, it was a fantastic experience. I think for me, seeing the Rebirth brass band from New Orleans,
Yeah,
there were like 22 of them on stage at the same time.
which is a fantastic. If you've never seen a New Orleans brass band, do
Yeah.
that before you die.
Rebirth brass band, really, really good people, really, really good humans. Lucinda Williams was the main act on Saturday night, but she had been ill. She had actually had to cancel a show in Charlotte. And she's normally on the road like 200 days a year.
Right.
So I think it just might have been the tour catching up with her.
Yeah.
Seasons changing, too many states, too many days on stage.
Too many different kinds of pollen.
But she did come out and sounded like death warmed over in a Southern Belle and just crushed the game Saturday night. Like it was exceptional.
Yeah.
Like you couldn't help but be like slightly in love. And I only got to hear like 5 minutes of it, but it was just like damn straight up like strong ass American women. You know, like damn. I think Mandolin Orange is probably the next band that's going to knock off. The thing I always tell people about Wildwood, and I'm sorry I'm on one right now, but The thing I always tell people about Wildwood Revival, and the reason I think you should go, besides the hospitality, the fact that if there's 500 to 2,500 people there drinking, smoking, there's kids running all over the place. The
Right.
smokers are being respectful.
Right.
The drinkers are generally managing their own.
Right.
There's
they're
no
not trying to
fights.
get sloppy or anything
Yeah.
like that. They're really trying to hear the music.
Right, and the kids are like running around, like chasing each other, playing hide and seek over 10 acres. You know, like it's just, it's so pure. It's such a pure space. But anyhow, I tell people the reason I think Wildwood is so important for me is because it's what's going to be big next year in Nashville.
Right.
That's the way I kind of know what's happening.
Right. Yeah. Who's going to take off? Who's going to be on the CMTs in a couple of years?
Right.
You can kind of see that at Wildwood.
Who's gonna get the Tiny Desk concerts?
Yeah.
Who's gonna probably whatever hit TV show comes out? Who are you gonna hear their music on?
Right.
You know, like, and so I think for this year, I really think it was Mandel and Orange. Like
Okay.
they're a super soft kind of you know, an Iron and Wine kind of, you know, folky sound.
Yeah, I'm with you.
But their lyrics just cut to the bone, and their harmonies. They play banjo, guitar, fiddle, stand-up bass. I mean, they play everything. You know, they got a great drummer. He was practicing out on the porch where we were tattooing, and it was fantastic. So
Now, how many years in a row have you been there?
if I'm correct, this is my fourth. I'm not really good with numbers. The first year I just went as a consumer. And now I had met one of the owners of the festival years ago through Christopher Paul Stelling, our good friend CP.
Our good friend Christopher Paul Stelling. He actually was our first real breakout act in our first music festival.
Right. He was the last day.
The last day.
And there were like 7 people there to see him.
Yeah.
And me and you were 2 of them. There were 5.
Like, the thing about that was we didn't want him there.
Right.
And he actually had to beg us to play.
Right.
And by the end of that night, he had stolen our souls and given them back 3 times.
Yeah.
So he was our best friend after that, our brother to the core.
Now he's on Anti Records, which is easy to follow, but it's C_P_Stelling. And I don't know if you've heard it, Ray, but he's got a new single out now, Have to Do for Now.
You know I've heard it.
And it's produced by Ben Harper.
Yeah.
Which is another amazing thing. But yeah, you guys go give CP Stelling a follow.
Please follow him. And if you can, buy his previous albums.
Yeah.
Particularly False Cities, which gives me chills even saying the name.
Yeah, I can't listen to False Cities very often because there's so much raw in it.
Yeah.
It's tough. I have to be like in the right headspace.
But anyway, moving on. You had went there the first year as a consumer.
Yeah.
You had met the owner through CPS.
Yeah, through CPS, and then we were invited back as kind of a carnival act, as kind of a sideshow. Like, hey, why don't you guys come and you can tattoo the musicians?
Do that little stick and poke thing you do.
Right, exactly. Right. And so what we did is we went that next year and with the whole crew and had merch and had all this stuff and you know we did it and we were a big hit. They got a lot of positive feedback on Black Spot.
Like the first year, I remember the first year that happened. I think tricked out a van or a box truck or something. And took it down there and had like 3 tents set up. And
yeah, we were gonna do that. We ended up running into some trouble and just taking another truck, but we did have tents and stuff, and it was. But we ended up realizing how hot it was, and we could tattoo in the tents. So.
Right. Yeah. So to clarify something, when you do go there, you're in the house and you are tattooing like the VIPs and such.
Right.
But you're not open to the public. The public cannot.
Yeah, that's one of the big frustrations because a lot of people see our information and they want to get tattoos and they want to get custom tattoos, and so it's important to follow up that with if you want access to Black Spot Tattoo Company at Wildwood Revival next year, you can only get it by being a VIP.
And what that and that's not Black Spot being unreasonable. There are two reasons for it. One reason is there's just too many people, not enough days, not enough
Correct.
time. These people do have to sleep still. But the second reason is because of the laws in Georgia regarding tattooing. Like
Yeah.
it's a little draconian, and it's hard to sort of pin down what's legal and what's not.
Right.
So
And I think we're safe because we are hand poke.
yeah,
But the whole thing is that we have to kind of play by the rules of the festival.
yes,
The festival is taking responsibility, and so they say our only access is through the VIPs. What I can say is, if you've never been to a music festival, $450 is not a lot of money.
it's not a lot of money
No, not at all.
for something like Wildwood,
Right.
where it's not a lot of people, where you can bring your kids,
Right.
where you can smoke and do your thing without being hassled. I mean, that's a huge bargain. I mean, trying to do that shit in New Orleans is going to cost you $1,400 bare minimum.
Well, and the thing about it is, too, that is direct access to all the musicians. And when I say direct access, I mean they're staying upstairs, so you can have a drink with the musicians. And you won't even know they're not a normal person. I mean, it was hilarious. I was watching one lady talk to the guitar player for Lucinda Williams. She just thought he was a cool festival goer.
Right.
And they talked for 20 minutes. And then she finally goes, "Hey, so what do you do?" You know, because it had been all about her.
Right.
And he goes, "Oh, I play music." And she goes, "Oh yeah, really? Do you really like coming here?" And he's like, "Yeah, we go on stage in 45 minutes." And she's like, "What?"
What? Wait, what?
Yeah, and like she didn't even know that like this was the guitar player, you know.
Right.
And I'm like, "Lady, he looks like Tom Petty for a reason." Like, I
He didn't wear these clothes to come and watch a guy on stage. That doesn't make any sense.
I carry the club like Neanderthal, the choir got everybody dancing, dog.
So, the festival happens, the music happening, the tattoos are happening. The part that interests me always is the food. Like,
Yeah.
who are they bringing in vendors to like help, or are they doing
So-
this in house?
So there's a catering company called Divine Catering that's actually the owner of the property. It's her company.
Okay.
Now, she got divorced when her kids were very young and had a pretty bad experience with, the penis in the situation. So I think
In any situation,
Right.
okay, any situation, a room of people,
Right.
the only problem is going to be A, is there a penis, and B, how many? Other than that, there's not going to be any problem.
I have a penis, and I can fully admit that most of my problems stem from the
Yeah.
penis.
So what she decided to do then was she decided to make a life for herself with as little interaction with the penis as possible.
Can't
And
blame
so she built this amazing wedding venue
Uh-huh.
and catering company. And eventually what I assume is she had to split them because they were both too big.
Right, they both got two big handles, so you get one or the
So
other.
so they provide food for the VIPs.
Okay.
And like for instance, one night I went in and it was like red curry salmon.
Okay. That sounds
It's like real high quality food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like shit that people like me aren't used to.
Right,
You know,
yeah.
like I was like, okay, why did you ruin the fish?
Food that is obviously too good for a white boy from East Texas.
Yeah, like I didn't know what I was looking at. You know what
Right.
I mean? And so I gave the food to somebody else who seemed hungry. I mean, I tried a little bit of it. It was delicious. I just couldn't understand why the fish was red. You know, like why is it red fish?
Okay, so we got this gourmet fare.
Yeah,
Being
and-
prepared for Ben as a VIP. He's doing nothing but tattooing people,
right.
and he gives it away.
Yeah.
Because he can't understand it.
Well, there was a guy outside though making barbecue.
Well, okay, okay.
All right.
Fair enough.
And
Fair
like
enough.
it smelled really good.
Yeah.
And so I went over there and I noticed they were only taking cash. And I'd been in this line for like 20 minutes.
Right.
And I was like, okay, what's up? You know, like, is the barbecue taking longer or whatnot? So I got up to the counter and I said, "Hey, I'm sorry. Like, I didn't know y'all only took cash." And they're like, "Well, we actually take cards,
Yeah.
but it's working half the time, and that's what's taking so long."
Oh, okay.
And I said, "Okay, well, will you try my card?" And she said, "Yeah. What do you want?" And I said, "Just give me one of everything."
Right.
And so she gave me a grilled like a barbecue chicken sandwich,
Uh-huh.
a pork barbecue sandwich.
Uh-huh.
Uh, she gave me a slab of ribs,
Uh-huh.
and then like some kind of grilled turkey leg or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was, and then she ran my card before they pulled the food out,
Right.
and it worked.
Yeah.
And so I took it and I ate the chicken leg on the way back, and I didn't tell nobody.
Nobody
You gotta
know
hide that.
about that.
Nobody knew about
Somebody
that.
asked, "Hey, do they do turkey legs?" I'm like, no, don't do that shit.
Yeah. So I got back and I had already started on the ribs. I threw the chicken leg basket away, and
Right.
I'd already started on the ribs. And it's only like 100-yard walk, by the way. So I'm going fast. And so
Right.
I walked back into the tattoo room and I got like ribs sticking out of my mouth, and I'm like, "Hey, you don't want some of this?" And they were
Right.
like starving,
Right, because they're still
they're
working.
tattooing. Yeah, I'm not working. And so I gave them and they went nuts. And so I said,
Yeah.
"Hey, are y'all still hungry?" And they were like, "Yeah, we're starving." And I was like, "All right, I'll go back." So I went back, stood in the line. From then on, that's the only place I went. Now they
Okay.
had like 4 more vendors. They had people making like brick oven pizzas,
Okay.
and they had so you get about a slice. They had somebody that did all vegetarian, so like
Okay.
all salads and stuff. They had 3 or 4 eateries from Athens that had come out to support.
Right. That are there. Not because, I mean, how much money are you going to make compared to your effort in a situation like that? But
Well, they weren't really ready. They sold a lot of barbecue. They had to go back to the barbecue place like 3 times.
Oh yeah. No. The barbecue joints. See, that's the weird thing about trying to do barbecue joint out of a truck or a mobile venue. You're because barbecue takes long to make anyway. You never really have a huge amount of it, but it's what everybody wants.
You
even
shouldn't
if they
just
don't know they
pull.
want
You
it.
shouldn't just have the truck.
Yeah.
You're gonna do barbecue at a place like that with that many people.
Yeah.
You gotta pull. You gotta have the food truck, but then you gotta have another truck.
You
that's
gotta have another
pulling the
truck
big,
there.
the big barbecue.
Right.
with like all of the coolers full of whatever it is that you sell.
The coolers, the
Right.
big barbecue. You better be smoking that stuff on site.
Yeah, well, they weren't smoking it on site because they had the restaurant back in town. But anyhow, they crushed it. They crushed the game. I mean,
Yeah.
I think they sold out of barbecue, but I ate it all weekend. It was fantastic. It was like Jesus. People kept asking me if I wanted some of that rich people food, and I'd just go down there and spend my money at the barbecue joint.
Now, see, if I was there cooking, I would be the one going, "How come nobody wants my goddamn
Right. Yeah.
curried fish? Everybody
Right.
wants goddamn barbecue." Then I'd be with the slab of ribs hanging out of my mouth.
Yeah, well, the problem is like they got these long names for it. They're like, we made
Yeah.
this mushroom gravy prune juice, sautéed in big words.
But that's so much fun to make. It's not so much. It's not like when you start doing that. People like my wife was talking about that the other day. It was like, why can't you just make a regular chicken?
Right. Why
Why-
can't you just call it chicken? Like,
Why-
hey,
why
what'd you
gotta
make
be-
tonight, chicken?
I was like, because I got to entertain myself and feed people. I can't just,
That's selfish.
Well, yeah, it is a little bit, but
So yeah, that was the food situation, and then we wouldn't get out till almost midnight every night. So the problem then is Athens being a college town and being a big college town. University of Georgia's no small thing.
right, that's a big thing.
They shut those bitches down at like 11.
Oh wow.
So the only thing open then, if you are still hungry,
Yeah.
is McDonald's.
Oh wow.
Or like one night Sonic was open.
It would be great if people would stay open a little bit later. Like, I'm really stunned that only McDonald's, Whataburger, Taco Bell have figured out that people eat at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, and what's weird about that too is it's 2019. Are we still afraid of the dark?
That's a very good question. Or are we just afraid to admit that the freaks come out at night and we're them?
Yeah, and I don't know. Maybe other people don't feel this way, maybe other people are healthier. I do see a lot of fit people around nowadays.
Is that healthier? Like, I don't think that eating in the sunlight makes you healthier. I really don't.
I don't know.
Dude, I'm all about eating at midnight, cooking at midnight, making gourmet meals, 5-star gourmet meals at 2 o'clock in the morning. I love that shit.
Yeah.
Because I'm up, other people might be up.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't you do that? I would. Like, if I opened up a restaurant, my hours would definitely extend to 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, I didn't tell you. I got to go to Waffle House. We don't have one of those
Oh,
here.
you did?
And I got my eggs the way I like them. And I got grits.
Yeah.
And I just when did grits quit being a thing?
They're still a thing.
They're still a thing.
But now they're.
We've had communication on this on Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
If you go to my feed, at Madara Shadow, you can see all of my food picks. Most of it is stuff that I make. Grits are a big part of what I like to eat, so it's what I like to make. They're still a thing, but now rather than if you want to get just plain grits, you're gonna have to go to a Waffle House. If you want to get some artisanal stone ground grits with some specialty cheeses and some shrimp protein on top, things like that, then you can probably get that at just about any fancy restaurant in America.
Absolutely.
Right now.
Yeah. Shrimp and grits is a big thing right now in a lot of restaurants.
2019 is when chefs have decided that they're going to stop listening to their customers and start pleasing themselves. And I approve that message wholeheartedly. I'm very much willing to. And, by the way, I'm also approving the message of if the consumer asks for it, chefs, you say yes. Take fucking no out of it. I ran into that today. This is off topic, but today, scratch that. But today, I went to a sushi restaurant and I saw they had 2 California rolls. Everybody know what the California roll is. They had a California roll A made with crabs and California roll B made with blue crab. So I went going with blue crab, but it's not a part of the combo that I wanted. So I said, hey, I've got this combo here. It says it's a California roll. Can I get the California roll B? Mm-hmm. And the Rachel Muse said, oh no, it comes California roll A. And I turned slowly and I gave her a look. And I don't know the exact look in my face, but she backed up 3 steps and went, I think we can upcharge you for a California roll B. And I went, yes, you can do that. Because you're not going to tell me in 2019 in America that I can't get what the fuck I want. I'm willing to pay for it, people. Right. But don't tell me no. Not now.
Yeah, this goes back to the owner of the Rockets talking to Gary Vee the other day. And saying how, maybe he sleeps in one day and he calls down to the front desk and says, hey, can I get some eggs? And they say, I'm sorry, sir, breakfast is already put away. And he says, yeah, I know, but you're going to make lunch. So, I'll pay a little extra, but just, throw some eggs on the grill for me. And make it so that, whenever you're bringing lunch up, you just bring my eggs too. Oh, I'm sorry, sir, we can't do that. And his point was, how is he supposed to continue spending money with you when you can't get him some eggs?
And the weird part about that was, I felt that. So I was like, yeah, go ahead. Because it doesn't cost you more in supply. It doesn't really cost you that much more in time to throw down some eggs for this guy.
Right.
Just because he's a customer paying money to you. So you just, why not just accommodate?
Right.
And the pushback in the comments were so immediate and almost universal. How can you be so selfish? How can you be so entitled? These people have business to run. They got to run it their way and so on and so forth.
I don't understand how that's entitlement. He didn't say he wasn't expecting to pay for room service, right?
Well, because he wanted something that they weren't providing, right? So, but he thinks he should have it anyway. But his point was, and my point was, no, you do provide it. You're just upset by a thing about timing when I'm upset by customer service.
Right.
There's a point. There should be a break point where the customer asks too much and you have to say no because it's going to negatively impact your business or negatively impact your time or so on and so forth.
Right.
But beyond that, anything that's not beyond that point should be an instantaneous yes.
Right.
That's just how I feel. I've always felt that way though.
Yeah, but you and I run things the same way because, like at the tattoo shop, if we're going to get food, at Black Spot, if we're going to get food, we ask the clients in the chairs, like, hey, do you want us to pick you up anything?
Right.
And they're like, hey, here's my card. And it's like, no, don't worry about it. And they're always surprised by that because this argument's happening right now. And it's like, dude, I'm picking up a $5 chicken sandwich. You're paying $600 for this tattoo. Do you really think I give a fuck about your $5 chicken sandwich?
Do you remember when we had musicians coming down for concerts? We would do concerts at Standpipe Coffee House downtown Lufkin.
Right.
And we would invite musicians down, and they would come in. Like musicians always come in hungry, tired before their set. Like universally, they're trying to come out of the car and then hit the stage. Well, we always had them come in a little bit early.
Yeah.
Because we want them to be able to relax a little bit. And they would come in, we're like, all right, guys, whatever you want to drink, just go ahead and tell the front here, and they'll get it for you, no charge.
Right.
And they're like, really? So, well, yeah, guys, you're doing a concert for us.
Yeah, like why would you charge you $2 for a coffee?
And it was like, all right, just sit down here. You guys want to eat? I'll run and get something to eat. They're like, you'll feed us? I mean, just the look of shock on their faces. That I'm gonna I can't send you out to battle with my people,
right?
With you're hungry and thirsty, like you know.
And that's what's funny to me that goes back to the South because for all of its problems, like man, the first thing on the list, like, hey, are you hungry?
Yeah.
Hey, you need something to drink? Hey, do you need a jacket? Like you need a blanket? Like you cold? Like, all right, come in here under the rain. All right, now, hey, what's up? My name's Ben.
Right.
It's
like if you see a stranger and you look as a guy, hey, slow down. Come on over here.
Yeah.
Dry out first.
Yeah.
Use the bathroom. Let me get your coffee. Settle down. All right. Now what's up? I mean,
right, yeah.
That's a natural Southern thing to do. No one here would be shocked by that.
And if I got conned, well, you know what? I'm still gonna do it again tomorrow because my mama told me that was the way to do it.
Yeah.
Like, so I got conned. Like, so that guy had an Amex with a $12,000 limit.
Am I gonna be mad that I bought a guy a $2 cup of coffee, or a $12 hamburger or whatnot?
Yeah, I don't get that. It's strange.
Like, I know I got a guy here from the north. I can ask him about how they do that, and how they handle that situation in New Jersey.
Mostly the same. It's not a matter of getting conned necessarily. It's people are simply not cautious because of that sort of thing. They're so wrapped up in their own lives and what's going on. They're in such a rush to do everything because everything takes so much longer to do with that many people that it becomes a matter of not having a thought for someone else. And so a lot of people in the Northeast, we try to correct that. Unfortunately, the culture that exists there makes it really difficult to gain the trust. As soon as you say, "Hey, can I get you something?" Right? Yeah. They automatically think you want something in return.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So
there's a concern that who is the con, who's the mark.
Right. Who's the mark? So it's not that they're being inhospitable. Is that there's so much there's so many things going on at once. You're trying to figure out which thing it is before you act.
Yeah, one of the biggest cons that people deal with on a daily basis, you don't even realize, the baristas at Standpipe probably deal with this, is the money con. If someone's paying in cash, right, they hand you more than they probably should, and then they hand it to you, get you thinking about what the change should be, then they hand you another bill saying, oh yeah, but do this, right? And they may do that one or two times, and it throws your brain into a confusion. And
until
you end up getting
them more than they actually pay.
Exactly. So it's a similar effect. Is that you're trying to get away from that idea. You're trying not to be confused by this unexpected thing being thrown at you.
Yeah. No.
Doesn't matter if you're cooler. The cortisol president or lose a box. Doesn't matter if you're cooler. The cortisol president or lose a box. Doesn't matter if you're cooler. The cortisol president or lose a box.
So that brings us to a very important question that I've been wondering, because I've had some actually interesting feedback, and I'm not going to tell y'all what it is, but I'm wondering, Mike, do we have the technology to put up a poll on our Facebook asking what our followers think of each of our voices?
Yes,
I
absolutely.
would like to know the most popular voice here, because I would like to
totally do not want to know the answer to
think. Why not?
I got the feeling that Ben is trying to feed his ego again.
He is.
Yet
He
again.
is. So let me
ego monster.
let me preliminary feed your ego a little bit, right? So
Okay.
a friend of mine
Okay.
has already told me after listening to the podcast, hey, that one guy, and I know exactly who she was talking about,
Yeah.
sounds like Christian Slater. Okay.
Fuck that person.
Okay.
Whoever that was.
Okay, so that is possibly one of the most interesting things I've ever heard. First of all, I don't like Christian Slater. I'm sure he's a nice human. Okay? But does anyone else have the urge whenever you see him in the movies to just break his face?
You know,
Christian Slater.
He kind of looks like Beavis.
Yeah.
Like every time I see him, I'm like, dude, I punched that dude right in the nose. I try to break that nose.
He has this smug smile. Like it's like an actor's moneymaker is his smile.
Yeah.
And his looks so smug all the time. It's like,
It's that face. It's that smugness you're talking about that made him perfect to play Will Scarlet in Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves.
Yes. Exactly.
Okay,
It's the Will
okay.
Scarlet look.
Right.
Every role is Will Scarlet.
No, it's not the Will Scarlet look. It's the fucking Judas look is what it is. I want to break his face. So all I'm saying is, I mean, maybe we put a poll out there. We let the people decide.
Sure. Yeah, let the people decide
All
who
right.
the most popular voice is.
And
Let's
we're-
talk to the people.
And we're not talking about who the best looking is.
Uh-huh.
We're not talking about if they know us personally or not. We're just saying the sound of our voice.
Look, here's what I'll say about this. Okay, I'm going to say this because I am of the '90s. Back a long time ago, Tupac Shakur had a conversation with Biggie, and he said, "Biggie, here's what you don't understand and I do. When you make music, you sing for the bitches. All right, you don't sing for the niggas, you sing for the bitches. Because if you sing for the bitches are going to tell the niggas what to buy, and they gonna buy it."
Okay.
Ben Harbuck did not hear that the first time, but he heard it later. And he's been singing for the bitches ever since.
Listen. I think my favorite clip so far of everything we've done is the infamous hand licking clip.
Yeah, that's great stuff.
Where literally the shock in my voice that no one else in the room thought of that is so pure.
It's absolutely great.
It was a genuine moment for sure.
Have you guys never thought of that?
Yeah, and then just afterward, it's like deeply embarrassed Southern, like, oh well, I guess I should go now.
And the thing about that was, I could not stop laughing for 20 minutes after that. It was like every time I thought about it,
We had to take a break because of that.
Right, we did. So all I'm saying is just like sound quality.
Sure.
And I think it was probably the reason I probably threw that out there is because it's Mike's turn to talk, and so I'm gonna have to find something to do while he talks. But Mike, tell us about Disney World and the adventures therein.
Well, so on the way to Disney, we drove. Myself, my wife, and our two youngest. We took I-10 out there, and about 10:30, 11 at night, stopped for the last tank of gas for the day. And
Sure.
apparently, I left my wallet on top of the car and drove away.
Mike. CIO, no.
We got about 65 miles away from Mobile, and we're in Pensacola at the hotel. And I'm like, "Where's my wallet?" And I go into panic mode at midnight.
That's the perfect time to go into panic mode.
Because my wallet has everything I need.
When you're in Pensacola, Florida with no wallet, go ahead and panic, people.
I panicked.
Push the panic button.
And I had to make that split-second decision to drive another hour back or what. So I ended up just locking my card. So if one of you bastards out there is one who found my wallet, you ain't getting my money because I locked my damn cards. And yeah, so I had to replace everything. And but that was just the first thing of so many things
before you got to
going
Disney
wrong.
World. Now, here's the thing. I'll just put this caveat out there before he continues. I hate Disney World. Okay, I've been there and I don't like it.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole story behind it, which I'll get into if we have time. But the Disney World to me is a place that's there as a money trap, and I really don't think that if you really look at it and with a jaundiced eye, that kids really enjoy it.
Okay.
I don't think so. Anyway, go ahead.
So we got down there. We actually were not. We were staying on Disney property, but we were not staying in a Disney resort like we usually do. We stayed at Wyndham Bonnet Creek, which is on property, but you don't get all the benefits of staying in a Disney resort. It's a really nice place, just a great view and all that.
Hold on, a great view of what? You're in Florida.
Oh
So basically,
man,
you're in hell.
they've got this wonderful lake that all the resort towers, the individual buildings surround, and it's really, I mean, you don't see a gator or anything in that lake. It just looks great. It has a great look. They got fountains built into it. You know, it's peaceful. It's calming.
Is it a real lake or they built a lake?
I'm
so you
pretty
have a
sure.
view?
Well, see, most of the stuff on Disney property was actually built, you know,
Yeah.
and not naturally formed. So I'm sure they built it, especially with the fountains being in the middle of the lake. Those don't occur naturally.
Like the Death Star.
Exactly.
But
Exactly. I want you, the listener, to watch everything he says here. Like, think in your minds: is this natural or is it curated to get your money? I want you to just put that in your mind.
It is
keep
100%. No, listen, I'm not going to argue with that. It is. I actually completely agree with you that entirety of Disney World, almost that entire portion of the Orlando, Kissimmee area of Florida, is a money trap. It's specifically built to be a money trap. It's not a trap, though, if you go there knowing I'm going to spend a bunch of money.
All right, so real quick, what is the advantage of a Disney resort if you're at a Disney resort as opposed to being just on a Disney property?
Right. So the advantage is that Disney runs a whole fleet of buses.
Okay.
So you get transportation to and from any of the parks or anywhere on Disney property, including what they call Disney Springs, which is a big shopping area. It used to be called Downtown Disney.
Okay.
So your transportation is generally taken care of. What we had to do instead was they actually have a specialized type of vehicle in the Lyft app called the minivan.
Okay.
And it's made for families. So we have 2 young kids who need car seats. Every minivan comes with 2 car seats, and they will install them, and they're certified in how to install the car seats correctly and how to manage them. Compared to parking, it's roughly the same price, because I don't want to park out in the far away stuff that costs like $25 a day for parking, right?
Right.
I want to park in the premium parking where I got a short walk to the park, right? And that's $50 a day. Well, the minivan is $25 each way. So,
it's going to be $50 a day.
Right. I would say I'd rather not have to worry about my car. I'd rather not have to drive. I can go drink. You know?
Right.
So that's one of the things, you know, and when you stay on property, you know, in a Disney resort on property, you know, these are Disney employees that are your hotel staff and things like that. So you get just the entire Disney experience in staying on property.
So the big fucking mouse comes to your room, bring you breakfast, shit like that?
Well, no, I'm sure you can pay for that. That's the thing about what you guys were saying earlier is you call down a desk and you want anything. Yeah, you might pay for it, but Disney doesn't tell you no.
Right. Okay. Which I do respect that. I do respect that. If
Yeah,
someone give them money,
absolutely.
they'll do it.
And how was let's see, you were there with your
Family?
you were there with extended family, right?
Yeah, so my dad actually is the owner of the Wyndham property, and he's who booked the stay and things like that. And so me and my family and my 2 sisters and their families, along with my dad and my stepmom, were there. And it was it's a little difficult to manage that many people and that many different families in a trip like that. So we mostly went our own ways, except for Tuesday night, where we actually went to Magic Kingdom for the Disney or Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party, which is they turn the park into a big Halloween party from 6 p.m. until midnight, and they have special shows in the park and things like that. So we had bought tickets for that, and everybody else had bought tickets for that. So we all did this together and did all the special Halloween stuff. They get bags, they can get candy at all these different trick or treat stops. And
So the kids are in the park from 6 p.m. to midnight?
oh yeah. Now see, a lot of people leave earlier. They just get like the initial experience. They have some earlier shows, and then they repeat those shows later for the late stayers.
Right, okay.
But we stayed till midnight because my wife is awesome and crazy at the same time, so she just has to. And we were outside the park all day. We didn't go to the park. You can get in as early as 4. So we
Right.
spent 8 hours in the park from 4 to midnight, right? But that's what you would spend in the park if you went in early in the morning. We just did it later in the day.
Okay. So if you were there for what, 7 days?
We were there for 6 days.
6 days? Okay, so you're there for 6 days. How much time do you spend in the actual park in 6 days?
So
If I'm planning a trip to Disney World,
we
so-
took it easy, right? And in taking it easy, we went to Hollywood Studios for a full day.
Okay.
Well, I say a full day. They sell these tickets that are half day. You can get in afternoon. Parks don't open till 9, and most of them close at 9. So you get in afternoon, you get a majority of the day in the park, and it's plenty for the kids. So we went to Hollywood Studios from like 1 until 7 or 8 at night, and then we did the Magic Kingdom Halloween party in the evening, and then we went to Epcot because they had the Food and Wine Festival. We went and drank drank wine and beer and ate food.
Drank food and
I drank food. And,
drank a lot of food.
yeah.
So real quick.
3 days is the short answer.
Real quick. So the tickets are time sensitive. In other words, I could buy a full day or a half day.
Correct.
Okay, just give me the price for the half day.
So
One park, half day.
one park, half day, $50. No, 65. We bought two sets of half day tickets for 4 people, and the total price was $500 for 2 days. So
Okay.
$250 each day, 4 people, so $250 divided by 4.
Okay. All right. And the kids, what do they think of the Magic Kingdom?
So the kids absolutely loved it. My 4-year-old doesn't get scared by anything, so he absolutely loved the Halloween party, seeing all the guests or all the characters in Halloween costumes, things like that. Just he had a grand old time. He rode some of the smaller rides. He rode Dumbo, and I put that live on my Instagram, riding Dumbo, and then he did Goofy's Barnstormer, which is a little roller coaster, and a couple other small rides. He actually is his first time doing Splash Mountain. That's one of the bigger, more famous rides in Disney World, Splash Mountain.
Splash Mountain.
And he absolutely loved that too. So he had a good time. Yeah, we did not have to race and go to every single ride in order to have a good time. I think the misconception people have is that they have to do everything to have a good time.
I don't think it's a thing for that to do that to have a good time. I think you have to do that to get $50 out of a half day ticket per person. Like,
I don't know.
that's like
I feel, but it's not. When you think about it, dude, you're spending $50 in Lufkin today.
I mean, yeah, but that's probably going to be on food.
Yeah, but why couldn't it be on, people wearing costumes?
Well, because that's not food.
Well, but here's my point. If you actually have you priced tickets at Six Flags recently?
No, I haven't.
Tickets at Six Flags are generally a little bit more expensive than those half-day Disney World tickets, right? And it's the same deal. Yeah, there are some characters dressed up, but how many people do you know what characters are happening at Six Flags? Nobody knows who the hell those people
All
are.
right, I'm gonna talk about how I feel about Disney, and I'm gonna dig into a bit more about how Mike feels about Disney. But we're gonna do that on another show because I'm feeling the need to smoke pretty hardcore. So this has been Tattoo with Children. I have been your host, Flavor Ray, NC Day. You can find me on Instagram at Madarashab. You can find the tattoo. You can find the podcast at Tattoo with Children on Instagram and on Facebook at Tattoo with Children, and on Twitter at Tattooed With, because Jack just doesn't like full tags for some reason on his ads. I don't know what the fuck's wrong with him.
Fuck Jack.
Fuck Jack.
And you can find Ben at Black Pro Brother, and you can find him also at at Black Spot Tattoo Company on Instagram, and you can find Mike at CIO Painting on Instagram as well. Guys, it's been real.
Peace.
Love you.